beat us twice. Questions? Right now, we getting him checked out right now. We just probably gonna be day to day until I have more of him probably tomorrow, after we finish with the doctors.
Mickey, the game got away from you in the final 6.5 minutes of the first half. Were you surprised it got away from you that quickly?
Well, I knew after when Casey went down, we was in, we thought we was in good place. When Casey went down, after Casey went down through the pick, yeah, I was surprised that it got away that quick. Got away from us.
What is the nature of Casey's injury? Is it an arm or?
Yeah, I think it was his arm. He got jammed on the elbow and kind of hit the nerve, and he couldn't feel his fingers. His hand was numb.
A couple of interceptions near the red zone, and so for a field goal, how impactful were those missed opportunities for you?
That's big. We talked about winning the turnover battle, and we didn't. We got to win the turnover battle. We had too many turnovers.
You went with Logan at first, and then with Chubb in the second half. Kind of what was behind the decision process there?
Well, we wanted to go Logan because we thought we was going to run some option, and then we figured we had to throw it to get back in it, so we went with Chubb.
What were they doing to Trey Palmer? He just had one catch today for 1 yard. Did they do something to take him out, or was it more that you guys just couldn't get it to him?
Well, they mixed it up. We couldn't get it to him, but they were really handsy, and we talked to him during the week that they're just not going to let you run. So he's got to run through some of the contact. He understood that after doing the game that he had to run through it, but just some places we just couldn't get it to him.
Was there a thought to go back to Logan in the second half?
We talked about it, but we thought we had to throw it, so we thought we'd stay with Chubb.
What did you see with Chuba and that was leading to some of the struggles that he had out there?
Well, he's just got to take care of the football. On the interception, he's throwbacks across the field. You learn that first day of quarterback school. Don't throw across your body. Don't throw across the field. Should have just ran the ball because we already were in field goal range. We already had points, and he understood that after. I got to get him. I got to prep him better. I got to get him ready better.
How do you think you stood up physically with these guys? Because I know you preached that all week.
Yeah, I thought we were physical. I thought the defense played hard. I thought the defense, went at them. They're big offensive line, and they run the ball well.
How much of the second half? I think you gained 29 yards in the second half.
It went downhill. We got off the tracks second half, and like I said, we got to go back and look at the film. But I can tell you they dominated us in the second half.
Mickey, how confident are you in Logan Smothers in the throw game?
Well, I'm confident in him, but I think that, if Whit wants to go with Chuba because we think Chuba throws it a little better, let's go with Chuba. But we'll have to take it from here because we don't know what's going to go on with Casey. So it's a possibility you'll see both of them.
How do you feel like you established and stuck with the run game today?
I thought we had some runs, and I thought we missed some runs also. And we got to do a better job of just creating more seams.
Is Torres a possibility?
Excuse me?
Torres.
No. Right now, Torres not ready.
How frustrating was it not to get Trey more involved?
Well, it's frustrating when you can't get, the guy that you need to get the ball to. It's frustrating, but we other guys we got to look at the film because I thought some other guys were open also.
We can ask Bush this obviously on Wednesday as well, but there were a couple pass plays where it seemed like they got really open on the two touchdowns. What did you see on those two plays, and what maybe could you guys done different?
There were some rub routes, and we got to fight through the rubs. We got to get over the top of it, or we got to fight through the trash to get there. And we talked to him all week about the pick routes, and that's the first touchdown was on a pick route, and we got to fight through the noise. We got to fight through it.
I know it's never just one play, but the Ramir drop, you had to probably feel like that was a play that was going to be pretty big for you.
Yes, Ramir. And to the kid credit, kid caught the ball all week. We repped that play at least 10 to 12 times, and he didn't drop one, and he dropped it today. But I'm not going to say one play lost the game for that kid, because we need that kid to play for us.
What do you say? You just mentioned you can't let these guys beat you twice. So how do you keep these guys positive?
Well, we just talked and said, you know what? We're going to come back. We're going to watch the film, and we're going to look ourselves in the mirror. We're going to be honest with ourselves. We're going to tell the truth like we always do on Sunday, and we're going to see where it went wrong at. We're going to fix it because if we don't fix it, it's a copycat league. They'll come back and hit us with it again next week.
Is the gap between Thompson and the backups that significant in terms of what we saw today? Is that then indicative of what you've seen in practice?
Well, I think anywhere around the country between 1 and 2 it's going to be a big gap. So Sam, that's I think it's a gap between them.
One or two more, Coach?
How hard is it for a backup to get off the sideline cold against a really good defense and have success?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy, especially going against a really good defense and they're moving around and they play solid football. But, you know, we got to get him ready. I got to get him ready. I got to do a better job of prepping him during the week and getting him ready, and probably have to get him more reps, get a backup more reps. But sometimes a backup don't get any reps. He's got to get mental reps, and he's got to go in there and do his job.
What's the challenge, Mickey, of coming off of a game like that that's so physical and then going right back in to this stretch that you're in? Minnesota won 131-0 today against Rutgers.
Well, it's Big Ten football. We got to come back and we got to go back to the practice field. We got to have another physical 2 or 3 days of practice and get back at it. I mean, we can't run away from it. We got to hit it. We got to go in and hit it first. We can't run away from it right now.
You were down Nick from last week. How do you feel those young guys stepped up at linebacker and all over on the defense today?
Well, I'll go back and watch the film, but overall I thought they played pretty good. I thought they stuck their nose in it, and they probably made some mistakes, but that's for, you know, not having the reps that they normally have, you know, because there was more reps. So we just got to go back and look at it.
If you have to go with one of those backups going forward, what can you guys do around them to support them and make their job a little bit easier?
Well, I think we got to protect them, and also we got to establish a run game for them. So we'll go back and look at that.
All good.
Thank you, guys.
How'd you feel like the defense held in there today?
I feel like the defense, you know, we played good as a unit. We just, you know, got to limit the big X plays and just, you know, just wrap up, get guys to the ground and swarm to the ball more. So I think we played good, but we could play better, for sure.
What happened on that first touchdown? Because you know, number one went across the formation. You stayed where you were. What was supposed to happen there that didn't happen?
Just it was supposed to be, you know, we were just supposed to kind of you know, play through it. You know, they just ran a little mesh route. You know, folks got picked off. We just gotta be more locked in to know the keys that are coming for the play and just, you know, be better.
Was there something similar on the other touchdown, the 12-yarder on the wheel route?
No, that was something different.
Okay. What was that? What happened on that?
It was just got picked off. That's all it was.
Describe the momentum swing a little bit that happened when you got the fumble early in the second half, put your team in position to score, and obviously, you know, turned it right back over.
It was just, you know, we try to stay together, you know, even when, you know, the offense, you know, if them guys are, you know, sometimes, you know, struggling, we try to pick them up, and, you know, it's vice versa. So, you know, it's always, you know, we one team, we got to pick it up for the other side. So, you know, it wasn't a problem for the defense, you know, because, you know, we like going back out on the field and just, you know, getting the ball back to our offense, you know, and just staying positive on the sideline.
How were you able to keep them to field goals? I assume you think that's a win, right?
Yes, I would say, you know, just keeping them out of the end zone is a great thing for us. You know, making them kick them long field goals, you know, just trying to get the ball back to our offense. I would say that's a win for us.
Is it a hit? You guys, is it at all like a punch in the gut for the entire team when your quarterback goes down the way Casey did, and he's not, you know, he's not going to be available for the second half? How do you feel like the team wide, you know, even on your side of the ball, responds to that?
I would say, you know, just just it's always next man up for any position, and we got faith in Chuba and Logan. We see those guys every day. It's next man up mentality. They know that if Casey goes down, we need them to get the job done, and we're gonna keep believing in them, trusting in them, and we're gonna all stay together.
One or two more for you if there is. How frustrating is this? This is a game I think that you guys thought you could have. Now that you didn't get it, how do you send them a positive message?
Just getting in here, watching the film, correcting the mistakes, and just looking at the negatives and the positives. Because it's both in games like this. You make mistakes, you make plays, but you got to limit the mistakes, and that's something we're gonna come in here and make sure we get that right.
Okay, thank you, Quentin.
Thank you.
Questions?
How much did you see maybe your offense change just internally and externally after Casey got hurt?
Yeah, you know, obviously it's unfortunate that Casey went down, but, you know, we've got great quarterbacks in our room. You know, guys trust Chubba and Logan and the other guys in that room. So, you know, nothing changed for us. You know, we came out, you know, we had a great game plan, and we just didn't execute. So I give, you know, all props to Illinois' defense, great team, really fundamentally sound, tough-nosed football team, and it just didn't go our way today.
What did you guys do in the second half that you did do in the first?
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw we were running the ball well, we were blocking well, you know, we were making plays. Just you know, nothing really changed in the second half. It just all comes down to execution, and that's just something that we've been talking about, you know, all week in practice and everything. So we got to find ways to execute.
Travis, how much did you guys take use of the bye week to maybe scheme some things in the passing game that worked for you in the first half? I think Casey threw for about 170 yards before he went out.
Yeah, you know, bye weeks, we're always preparing for our next opponent. We did a lot of stuff. You know, I trust the coaches in our preparation. I think they did a great job in getting us ready to play, and ultimately we didn't come out as players and you know, make plays to get the W. So, you know, our coaches know what they're doing. They put us in great situations in practice, like the bye week, and we didn't execute, like I said.
Was that look that you guys showed on the touchdown that you caught a different wrinkle?
No, I mean we knew that Illinois was going to come out and play man, so nothing was really different. We you know, came out and they played exactly what we thought they were going to play. So.
When you learn that Casey's not going to be playing in the second half, is that like an announcement, or did you just kind of sprint with the team, or how do you guys mentally prepare for going out without your starting quarterback?
Yeah, you know, like I said, we've got great quarterbacks in our room. Nothing changes for us. You know, we all trust the guys in that room. You know, we got great players who have continued to practice and you know, play well in that room. So nothing really changes for us. You know, we've got the quarterbacks' backs just like we know they have ours. So nothing changes for us.
You mentioned execution. Where did you guys fall short?
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, just weren't getting our blocks, you know, and you know, hitting the passes that we needed to. So, and that comes on us as players, you know. Coach Whip and Coach Mick and all the other coaches put us in situations to go out and make plays, and we just didn't do it. So.
One or two more. What do you say as a captain to this team to try to rally over the last 4 weeks and get 3 wins to a bowl?
Yeah, there's a lot of season left. So, you know, our locker room is so tight. You know, we're brothers in there, and it's a positive locker room right now. You know, obviously it sucks we lost, and guys are upset about that. But we got the 24-hour rule. Going to come back tomorrow. You know, learn from our mistakes. You know, find what we didn't do well, and you know, we're going to move on to next week and another opportunity. So guys are excited about that, and you know, learn from this one and move on.
If it's one of the backups going forward, what can you guys do around them to make their job a little bit easier?
Yeah, you know, we're going to rally around whoever's playing. You know, like I said before, we got great players in the quarterback room. You know, we trust every single one of those guys in there. So nothing's going to change for us. You know, we trust those guys. We're just going to come out, you know, next week and, you know, prepare like we did this week and, you know, try and beat Minnesota.
All good.
Thanks, guys.
What did you see from the Illinois pass rush when they were hard to defend?
You know, I think they just came out with they threw a little trick up their sleeve with a couple of rushes. I think in the first half we picked up the blitzes pretty well. End of game, it's kind of hard, especially that last drive. It's 2 minute, it's obvious pass, and I don't know. It was just kind of a hard. It's kind of hard protection that we had against those blitzes. So, but overall, I thought we did a good job picking up a lot of blitzes.
Casey go down and then tries to get up, sit back down. He starts walking, eventually went to the locker room. What's the internal discussion on the sidelines and what's going through your head?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't see Casey go down. I was blocking, and I didn't see Casey until really halftime. I didn't really see what was going on, but yeah, for me, I just heard Logan was play that next drive for us, and it was just the next man up, and we practice it all the time. If someone goes down, we have the QBs ready for it to go. So.
Why do you think the offense didn't execute at the same level in the second half?
Man, that's kind of a tough question, but I thought overall like I said, I thought we picked up some things. I think maybe just a miss there. I think just we just needed one more man to do their job just a little bit better. And I think overall the play would have hit big. And I know we were really close on a lot of things, and it would just been nice to finish one of those plays like a long drive. So.
How did it feel as an offense, just the momentum or lack of momentum that you had coming out of the locker room in the second half?
You know, I thought guys were fired up. I just think, like I said, we kind of had a little miscommunication or something there, and that could just throw you off a little in your rhythm. And it would be good to go in the film room, see what's going on. And I think Illinois came out and they were doing some stuff that I don't think they were the regular things. So I don't know. I just got to go in the film room and look at it.
Is there a difference between blocking with Chubba Purdy at quarterback than Logan Smothers?
Yeah, there's no difference. Like I said, every day we have multiple quarterbacks rotating behind you, and it was just, like I said, I'm not really focused on the quarterback. I'm focused on blocking the man in front of me. So.
When you talk about them doing some different things, did you see that intensify after the quarterback change was made? Like maybe they were trying to take advantage of the fact that Chubba was clearly more inexperienced than Casey?
Maybe. Like I said, I just think they were up, and I think they were trying to go for the throat. And maybe it was because of Chubba. I don't know. I think Illinois does a good job of trying to hold the opponent down when they're down. So, like I said, if we just hit one of those plays on one of those blitzes, it would have been big. So.
What do you point to for these last 4 games for things to maybe get back on track for you guys?
You know, I think we have a great group of guys here at Nebraska, and I think we're going to bounce back like we always have. And like I said, the O-line, the whole team couldn't be more proud of us how we respond to things like this. And I know that when we come back to hit practice next week, everybody's going to be going full speed. So, like I said, it was just a tough loss, and we just got to come back, look at the film, and get better. So.
How do you look at going forward if you don't have Casey?
You know, that's why, like I said, multiple QBs. Like Casey's a great player, and I owe all the respect to him. But injuries happen, and that's football. And the next man's up, and it's Chubb or Logan. I don't know. I'm not the QB coach or whatever, but I have full faith in those guys. You're around those guys all the time, and I'm just excited to see what they could do with a little bit more playing time. So.
I think you said that if it is one of those two guys going forward, it would help them if you guys could establish the run, get the game going a little bit more. How can you guys do that?
It's just a mentality. I think running is just opposing your will on the other man's will, and I think playing more together with especially Rayola in the O-line room, I think we're starting to believe that more. And I think you kind of saw that in the first half. I think we were knocking them around, and we just got to keep believing in ourselves. I think like I said, look at the film room, see what we could do, and build on that. So.
Good numbers per carry on the ground today. Is that something you think you guys could do a little bit more?
Yeah, I think that's what Nebraska has always been about, is the run game, and I think especially we just need to bring that back, and like I said, just believe in our technique, and good things will happen.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
I'll check if they're